Every night in Mumbai and Kolkata, someone was sleeping on the pavement. They had nothing. No home, no family nearby. No one is watching over them. And in the darkness, something was watching them. Between 1985 and 1990, at least 26 homeless people were murdered in two of India's largest cities. Their skulls were crushed by a single heavy stone while they slept. No struggle, no warning, no witnesses. The killer left no fingerprints, no DNA, no weapon that could be traced, no motive anyone could identify. He struck in Mumbai for 3 years. Then he stopped completely. 1 year later, the same murders began in Kolkata. Then those stopped too. He was never identified, never arrested, never explained. To this day, the case files sit open in both cities with the same single word at the top: Unsolved. This is the story of the Stoneman, India's only serial killer who was never caught, and one of the most disturbing cold cases this country has ever produced. Mumbai in 1985. The city that never sleeps was also the city that never looked down. In the 1980s, Mumbai's pavements were home to hundreds of thousands of people, rag pickers, daily wage workers, migrants who had come looking for a better life and found only the streets. They slept in rows along the pavements of Sion and King's Circle in central Mumbai. They had no doors to lock, no walls to protect them. They slept in the open and trusted that the city around them would leave them in peace. That trust was about to be broken in the most brutal way possible. The first documented Stoneman killings occurred in Mumbai between 1985 and 1987. The victims were mostly homeless pavement dwellers attacked in their sleep with their skulls crushed by large stones, weighing up to 30 kilograms. The modus operandi was consistent. Victims were solitary sleepers, attacked between 11 p.m. and 4 a.m. The method was as simple as it was devastating. The killer would approach a sleeping person alone on the pavement. He would lift a stone, sometimes a loose concrete slab, sometimes a rock, and drop it directly onto the victim's skull while they slept. One strike, no struggle, no sound. By the time anyone noticed in the morning, the killer was long gone. The killings had no apparent motive, no robbery, no relationship between killer and victim to investigate. The victims were homeless, people who were often unidentified and had no relatives to press for answers, leaving police with virtually no leads to follow. This was the Stoneman's most terrifying quality. He had chosen his victims with cold precision. People who had nothing meant there was nothing to investigate. No motive, no connection, no trail. 12 people died in Mumbai between 1985 and 1988. Then in the middle of 1988, the killings stopped. Completely, suddenly, without explanation. Mumbai breathed again. Police quietly closed the investigation. The streets slowly forgot. Then came Kolkata. June 4th, 1989, the on-duty officer at Hare Street police station in Kolkata received a phone call in the early morning hours. A body had been found on the southwest corner of BBD Bag, the administrative and commercial heart of Kolkata. Just a stone's throw from Lal Bazaar, the Kolkata police headquarters itself. A homeless man, skull crushed. A heavy stone nearby. Nobody had seen anything. Nobody had heard anything. It was the beginning. Between June 1989 and February 1990, at least 13 homeless people were brutally murdered while they slept on the pavement in Kolkata. The murder weapon was a heavy stone. The method was a crushing blow to the skull. The killer was never identified. The murders followed an identical pattern every single time. A lone homeless person sleeping in a dimly lit area. An attack between midnight and dawn. A heavy stone or concrete slab dropped onto the skull from above. Death was instant. The killer was gone before the body was discovered. Most of the murders happened in central Kolkata near the Howrah Bridge area. Some speculated the killer was traveling into the city by train to commit the murders and leaving before dawn. As the body count rose, Kolkata police launched an intensive investigation. They scoured crime scenes, interviewed street dwellers, and detained suspects. Yet they found nothing. The killer left behind no fingerprints, no forensic evidence, and no way to find them. Then came the seventh victim. September 8, 1989. The body was found just 1 block from Kolkata. police headquarters itself, as if the killer was sending a message directly to the investigators hunting him. At the press conference that followed, Deputy Commissioner Singh gave the killer his name for the first time publicly, the Stoneman. The city reacted with immediate fear. Newspapers ran the name across their front pages. Citizens demanded answers. The homeless population of Kolkata, already invisible to most of the city, began sleeping in groups, taking shifts through the night to watch over each other. Police deployed undercover officers onto the streets. Officers disguised as homeless. People lay on pavements in the dark with weapons hidden under blankets, waiting for the killer to strike near them. He never did. In October 1989, police arrested a man named Mohammed Hussain. A witness had identified him. The arrest made headlines. The city felt relief, but Mohammed Hussain was emaciated and physically incapable of lifting the heavy stones used in the murders. The witness who identified him later admitted to lying. Mohammed Hussain was released. The Stoneman struck again the very next night. By November 1989, 13 people had been killed in Kolkata. Then the murders stopped, just as suddenly as they had begun. Just as they had stopped in Mumbai a year earlier. No final confrontation, no arrest, no explanation, just silence. And then the question that has never been answered: whether or not the Mumbai killings were linked to the Calcutta Stoneman killings has never been confirmed. However, the similarity in the instrument, choice of victims, execution, and time of attack suggests the assailant was familiar with the Mumbai episodes, if not the same killer himself. The facts that connect them are impossible to ignore. Identical method. Heavy stone dropped on a sleeping homeless victim, always between midnight and dawn. Always alone, always a single strike. Identical victim profile. The most vulnerable people in the city. Those with no identity documents, no family connections, no one who would demand answers. Identical forensic result. Zero evidence left behind. Not a fingerprint. Not a footprint until the very last murder. Not a single witness who could describe the killer. And the most disturbing connection of all the Mumbai killings stopped in mid-1988. The Kolkata killings began in June 1989, a gap of less than 1 year, as if the same person had simply moved cities and waited. It was concluded that the Stoneman was a psychological maniac who may have either died or been convicted of some other crime, resulting in him being in prison, which would explain why the killings stopped so suddenly. But that is only one theory, and there are several others. The lone drifter theory suggests the Stoneman was a single individual, possibly a laborer or daily wage worker who moved between cities for work and killed opportunistically. This explains the geographic shift from Mumbai to Kolkata. It explains the identical method, and it explains the sudden stops, perhaps. The killer moved again to a city where similar murders were never connected to the same name. The copycat theory suggests the Mumbai murders and the Kolkata murders were committed by two completely different people. That the Kolkata killer had read about the Mumbai murders in newspapers and deliberately replicated the method, knowing that a copycat crime is almost impossible to solve because there is no original motive to trace. The organized crime theory, whispered but never proven, suggests the Stoneman was not acting alone, that the murders were contract killings, targeting specific individuals within the homeless community for reasons that were never investigated because the victims were considered disposable by authorities. The complete absence of any forensic evidence across 26 murders, spanning years and 2 cities, suggests a level of discipline that goes beyond an individual operating alone. And then there is the theory that the director of the 2009 Bollywood film on the case put forward publicly that there was no way a crime series of this scale could remain completely unsolved, that the investigation must have been deliberately obstructed, that someone with influence had reason to ensure the Stoneman was never found. No theory has ever been proven. No arrest has ever been made. The Stoneman murders prove there is such a thing as the perfect crime. A killer who chose victims that society had already chosen to ignore. who used a weapon that could not be traced, who left no motive that could be investigated, and who simply walked away into the darkness of a city that was too busy to notice. Ignorance. In 2003, a murder bearing the Stoneman signature was reported in Kolkata. A homeless man, a heavy stone, a crushed skull. Nobody was caught. In 2016, a man was arrested in connection with similar killings. He was convicted of 6 murders. He was not the original Stoneman. The investigation confirmed the original cases remained separate and unsolved. The real Stoneman, if one person was responsible for all of it, killed at least 26 people across 2 of India's greatest cities over 6 years, and then vanished as completely as if he had never existed. Somewhere in this country, a person woke up on the morning of the last murder in Kolkata in February 1990. They made tea. They went about their day. They knew exactly what they had done the night before, and they knew nobody would ever prove it. They may still be alive today. Subscribe to MistFiles. We open the files nobody closed properly. A new case every week, and the truth is always darker than the city that buried it.